So let's go to this $1 million 12-month period. Mm-hmm. First month, do you remember what the sales were?
I want to say it was like 20-something thousand the first
20-something thousand.
Yeah.
Off of ordering manufacturers off of Alibaba, taking it to a printer to print it, 20 grand.
20 grand.
What's going on, family? David Shands. I want to give you a special invitation to the Morning Meetup, themorningmeetup.com. It is the only organization that gathers every single morning, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we help you learn entrepreneurship, grow as an entrepreneur, become an entrepreneur, or you just get to be in an environment, a network of all entrepreneurs. Literally hundreds of entrepreneurs gather on a Zoom call every single morning, Monday through Friday, okay? So I want to give you a special invitation to help grow your business and your brand all this year, okay? Every single day. You eat every day for your health. You brush your teeth every day for your hygiene. I need you to learn and grow every single day for your mindset, okay? So make sure you go to themorningmeetup.com. It is only $1 trial. You don't need a promo code. Just go $1, themorningmeetup.com. Check it out. If you like us, stay. If not, after that, it's $79 a month. But I'm pretty sure you're going to enjoy yourself, okay? So go to themorningmeetup.com. I love y'all. See you in the morning.
The Social Proof Podcast. Streaming now on all platforms.
Welcome to another edition of the Social Proof Podcast, where we find people who have social proof, meaning they've actually built something, and they can teach you how they've done it. And I'm super, super excited and honored because I hit you and I hit Jason, then I hit you again, then I hit Jason again. I'm like, yo, set it up with your wife, man. She needs to be on the show. So Miss Halani, Miss 2 Weeks Out, how are you?
Yes, I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Oh, yeah.
Let me tell you something. Can I tell you a secret?
Absolutely.
I didn't want to do it.
Really? That's why. I was about to say, she ain't replied to me, and then Jason was like, I'll tell her. She don't want to do it.
Jason was like, call David. Hit David up. I was like, what? Okay. Did you call David? Did you message David? No. Do it. He had to make me do it.
Well, that's awesome. Thank you, Jason. I appreciate you. So why did you not want to do an interview?
I don't know. I think it's just e-commerce is so new to me. Mm-hmm. And so when I have to talk about it, I get so nervous about it.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't seem too nervous on your social media.
I'm not nervous on my social media.
But when people ask you about like the business, it's like, why do you think? I
guess because I'm so new. And so it's like, I can tell you what works for me, which I mean, that's what it's about, what works for me. But at the same time, I don't want people to look at me like an expert, because I'm not that yet. I'm still learning, I'm still growing. And so, like when I did Earn Your Leisure, I'm like, oh my God. I don't want to do this, and I always feel good when Jason's with me, because I'm like, when I don't necessarily have the answers, he does, because he's been an entrepreneur for way longer than I have. I'm new to this game, and so I always kind of like, when people ask me to do things, I'm like, okay, I want to do it, but not really.
Yeah,
I had to step out of my comfort zone and come sit with you today.
Yeah, here's what's cool. This is going to be really comfortable because you've amassed like an amazing amount of success in a short period of time. So it's not always about like teaching, do this first, this second, but I'm probably just going to get into your story.
Okay.
And that you don't have to be nervous about because you know your story.
Yeah.
And people pull their own principles out of the story. So we were talking about like kind of like the most popular podcast, and 90% of Wall Street Trapper's video is his story.
Okay.
The last few minutes we get into like stocks and understanding stuff like that,
right.
But people are so inspired by the story. So I do want to know how your business, you did what, like $1 million in 12 months or something like that? Crazy. And you still have a job.
And I still have a job.
This is crazy. So we're going to jump into this. So I'm going to allow you to introduce yourself, if you will.
Yes, I am Halani Lobdell. Mrs. 2 Weeks Out on IG.
Okay.
38 years old, wife, mother, fire battalion chief for DeKalb County, 18 years in, and now a successful entrepreneur.
Amazing.
BodyNV, my baby. So, yeah.
Wow. So 18 years as a firefighter? You're not a firefighter. You're like I don't want to disrespect it.
I'm still a firefighter. I mean, I can get in there and still do what I need to do if I have to, but...
Like house burning down, you're on the scene.
I'm on the scene, but I'm in command now. So I'm the one that's outside like, hey, go do this, go do that. You know, I'm giving assignments on the radio. I'm accountable for everybody that's on that scene to make sure they're safe and everybody goes home. So, you know, I don't physically do the work anymore, but I used to. And I used to drive the trucks too.
Really?
Yes.
How did you get into that? Because you look at like who you are, you're almost like, I don't know. I don't want to use the word diva, or like you seem like the boss model type. You don't think, yo, she's a firefighter. Yeah. How'd you get into it?
I was going to Georgia State for sports medicine. My mom called me one day. She was like, DeKalb County's advertising for firefighters on the news. I was bored too. And she was like, I could see you doing that. And I'm like, all right. So I just applied. Didn't know nothing about it. Applied.
Were you looking for a job or?
No, I was in college. I was working at Sears Credit Center doing skip tracing. Little part-time job or whatever while I'm going to Georgia State. I'm okay. You know, I was content, but I was a little bored with the skip tracing thing. And she knew I wanted some form of excitement. But I was going to school for sports medicine, so two totally different fields. Okay. So, you know, she told me they were hiring, and I'm like, well, you know, I'll try it. I was 19 years old. I'm like, what can I lose? Applied. It took a whole year to go through the process. So when I got on, I was 20. Got all my training. Still there to this day, 18 years later.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you graduated college?
I did not.
You did not?
Well, I did in 2003.
Okay.
Not at that time.
Okay.
No. Okay. I had to, I actually dropped out, went to the fire academy, because that's a full-time job. So I went to the fire academy and stuff, got into the fire service, and I ended up getting my degree online, not even through Georgia State.
Really?
Yeah.
In sports medicine though?
No. In fire science management.
Because you were already a firefighter? Because
I was already a firefighter. So I wanted it to be, you know, something that I could utilize within the fire service. And that's also required to move up in rank. They want you to have a degree.
Gotcha.
Because you're moving out of the physical work. And now you're looking into more administrative. So they want you to aspire to do more educationally within the fire service. So that was required for me to move up in rank. And so, yeah, so I did complete my degree, but not in sports medicine.
Right. And so, like, you were always career-minded, I'd assume. You weren't, like, entrepreneurial at all?
No. I was so against it.
Oh, my gosh, yeah. So that opens up a whole nother can of worms, because you're seeing this husband of yours trying and just not getting it right.
Listen, and that's what made me so against it. That's what made me so literally, Jason has always been an entrepreneur, always. And, you know, he had his times where we did really, really well with his different ventures that he did. And then he had times where he really set us back. And the fire department is what kept us afloat, because I knew what my checks were going to be every other week. And so that's what kept us going. And so I would look at his setbacks and I'm like, we're in this position because you don't want to get a job. You want to work for yourself. And I had, like, you know, just in the back of my mind, I'm like, you can control your money, but when things go bad, you know, you have nothing to fall back on. It's just you. So I was totally against it. But the crazy thing is that my mom had a daycare facility for years.
Really?
Yes. So she was an entrepreneur and did very well. Did very, very well. But I was so against it. I'm like, I want to know how much money I'm going to make every 2 weeks. I want my pension. I want my benefits. You know, I like stability. And that's just how I'm still to this day, I'm like that. I like stability. So I was like, nah, I'm going to work this fire department job. Right. You go out there and you be the entrepreneur and you can dip and dab in all these different fields. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to sit back here and do this.
So was there tension in the relationship because of that?
The most tension I think we had was 2005 when it was not 2015, 2015, which was his worst year, which I think he spoke about on the podcast with you, where we almost lost our house. He did lose his car, and I was sitting back like, what are we going to do? It was a bad time. And so there was a little tension, a little resentment for that situation, because I'm like, we got kids. You know, me and you, we can thug it out. But we got these kids.
So are you saying, yo, go get a job, and he's saying no? Or was it, like, what was the conversation like?
The conversation was figure it out. Because I knew he wasn't going to get a job. I knew he wasn't. I know him. He's not getting a job. You know? I'm like, figure it out. But I always knew, because he always did figure it out. Always figured it out. So I'm like, make this work. Get us into a position where we need to be. And he did. He did. And, I'm thankful for the hustler mentality that he has, because without that, I mean, I'm able to do what I'm doing now as a result of him, But there was a little, a little tension, a little resentment, like, this dude, man, just go get a job.
So you pretty much held down the household for that period, right? Just to make sure the money was coming in.
Yeah.
So, like, did you like consider from his end? Did you sense any hurt from him? Like, from, I'm the man, but my lady got to hold it down right now. Did you feel any of that?
Yeah, I did, because we'd never been in a situation we were about to lose our home, and so we've been in situations before where we might not be able to go out to dinner or something like that, but that's minor. We're eating, we've got a place to live, but now our shelter is in jeopardy. So I know he did sit back like, dang, I'm relying on her right now. But at the end of the day, that's what marriage is about.
Yeah. 100%.
If you can't rely on me, then who else can you rely on? You should be able to rely on me,
I love that.
So although I didn't appreciate the situation we were in, but that's my responsibility as his wife, as his complement, to support him during this time. And so that's what I did, so yeah.
My friend Michelle, shouts out to Michelle, she has a show called Entrepreneur Wives. And she kind of interviews people who their wives and their husbands are entrepreneurs, and the things that the woman deals with, right? Have you ever felt any sort of way in terms of, like, this, my husband is this figure, right? And maybe like some of the insecurities maybe from maybe like, because he's in an industry of like women everywhere.
Yeah.
What's going on internally with you?
Nothing. My thing is this, I feel like it's a privilege to be married to me. I feel like, I hold it down in all respects. And so I get asked that all the time, like, how do you feel? He's around women on a daily, and I'm like, I don't feel any kind of way. And I know his response, he's always like, well, have you seen my wife? So forget her.
Touche.
Have you seen who's at my house? So, and so, I'm not going to say that I haven't seen, he might post the IG story and I'm like, I'll hit him up like, take it down. I might even respond to the story like, nope, take it down. And he'll take it down, or if he, we might go back and forth like, what's wrong with this? And I'm like, you're zooming in too much,
It's the zoom in.
Delete it, and so he respects me enough, even though he might not agree.
Yeah.
It's like, we're working out. No, I don't need to see her behind all over the screen. Delete it. And so, he'll delete it. But as far as, insecurities, I got over that.
Yeah.
I did initially, prior to him being in the fitness industry, just early on in the marriage, I had some insecurities just because of my childhood and watching my parents' dynamic, and they ended up divorced when I was 16. I have a little brother from my dad's extramarital affair. And so, with the fire service, I'm gone 24 hours. Yeah. So when I leave at 6 o'clock in the morning, I don't come back home until I don't get off until 6 o'clock the next day. And so just imagine being young, married, and we have no kids or nothing. So literally, I'm gone for 24 hours. He's doing whatever he wants in my mind.
Right. And the mind will wander.
So I will call him all day. Where are you? Who's that in the background? Who's that talking? What's that music? And so I had insecurities back then. And he told me one day, he was like, listen, I'm talking to you as your friend, not as your husband. If I'm going to cheat on you, I could be sitting right next to a chick and tell you I'm at my mama's house, you know. He was like, I'm not who you're trying to paint me to be. You're stressing yourself, you're stressing me, stop it. And that really helped me, now we've been married 19 years in January. Coming up. Congrats. Thank you. And so that helped me. So the insecurities, I'm like, for what? Yeah. It's a privilege to be married to me.
For sure. I just know, like, sometimes, like, even my wife's or my friends' wives, it's just, like, almost territorial a little bit. Like, I know my husband's not going to do anything, but from a woman's perspective, I always wanted to, like, kind of ask a woman, and I never felt comfortable asking until right now, so thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. So, and I make my presence known, too. Yeah. So when I'm, if I'm in the gym and he's training clients, you're going to speak to me. Yeah. I'm his wife. That's just what we're going to speak to each other, So if I find that you're kind of shading me, then I might look at you sideways like, why would you not speak to me? Right. You train with my husband. Right. You're in my establishment. Why would you not speak? There might be a conversation like, what's up with your girl? Why she not, But outside of that, it's one of those things where I just had to get out of that mindset of any insecurity whatsoever, because it's just circumstances you can't control. So I'm like, I'm gonna do my part. As long as I do what I'm supposed to do, if you decide you're gonna do otherwise, that's on you.
I think that helps a lot of just wives that are watching right now. I mean, you're attracted to a man that like can go move and shake, but a lot comes with that, right? So the fact that you're saying I just need to be mature enough and know who I am, right? Not necessarily focus on everybody else. Let me know who I am and the relationship that I have. And it's just beautiful. You guys been together married for almost 19 years. So that is amazing.
Yeah, thank you.
What is the toughest part about marriage?
For me, it is being submissive for me, because I have a very strong personality, and because of my position at work where I'm in a leadership role. And so a lot of times I come home and I'm still in that mode. And he's like, you don't run nothing around here. You run nothing around. He used to tell me, that shirt comes off when you enter this garage. So don't come in here with this, do this, do this, do that. No, I run this household. And I appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure.
Because that's what I want, a man. I don't want somebody that's going to allow me just to run the household. That's not what I married you for, And so for me, that's the hardest part, is understanding when to be quiet. Shut your mouth, Halani.
Right.
Just be quiet and let him do what a man does. So, I can overstep my boundaries, so to speak, at times with just speaking up at times when I don't need to. Like, let him handle it. But he checks me. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with it. Check me respectfly, but I'm good with it.
And I'm not going to ask about the times you check him, because we just keep it all, because I know that happens. Okay. But so for 18 years as a fire in the fire department, right? And your whole goal is just kind of moving up the corporate ladder, right? Why is my so the whole goal is moving up the corporate ladder, right? And you're obviously surrounded around entrepreneurship. Did you start to consider it maybe like midway through? I'm thinking 9, 10 years, 11 years through. Did you
become an entrepreneur?
Yeah.
No.
Still no.
No.
Even after you see like all the success of your spouse, just.
I was like, that's good for him.
Yeah.
And just having the personality that he has, I thought that played a major role in his success. And I'm like, it's just not for me. I never, ever considered it until last year.
So you consider it, you do it, $1 million first year. Okay, so now walk me through the process of, okay, I'm getting out of the mindset of being here, this career, 18 years. What sparked it?
So, first and foremost, as in the fire service, you're not going to make a lot of money. You're just not. You risk it all, and you do it just because, you like what you do. You love
18 years. You got to be making a couple dollars. 18 years.
I make a little something, but not to risk my life.
Yeah, true.
It's not. And then when you look at the surrounding areas and what they make at the same rank, it's like, wow. Because we're severely underpaid, especially.
What do you mean by the surrounding areas?
So I'm in DeKalb County,
right, and
the surrounding metro Atlanta counties. So Gwinnett, Cobb, Atlanta, those different departments. When you look at, say, what a battalion chief, which is my rank,
right,
what those battalion chiefs make, it's like, dang.
Really?
We get paid less, but we're busier.
You get paid from like a neighboring county?
Yes, they make more money than we do. But we are ranked nationally in the top 10, DeKalb County, in terms of how busy we are, our call volume. But we get paid less than the surrounding metro Atlanta departments. So I started looking at my check, and I'm like, it doesn't add up. It just does not add up. And on top of that, with social media, people were sending me gear on a regular basis, sending me stuff. Hey, can you post it? And I don't do paid promo.
Yeah.
Just send it to me, ever. Because I like for my followers to know that if I post it, it's truly because I like it and it works. So if I post a skincare product, it's because it worked for me.
Right.
If I post a workout outfit, at that time, it was because I really like it, not because somebody's paying me. Because I feel like it can become, it's not authentic. It can become unauthentic if someone's paying you.
Yeah. For sure.
So that's not what I wanted my followers to see. So I've never charged for promo. When people ask me, I won't charge for it. But they're still sending me this gear. And there was one company in particular that was sending me stuff, and I'm like, they're sending me stuff constantly, which means I'm making the money when I post it. And it just made sense for the simple fact that fitness is truly our business. That's our bread and butter, not the fire department, but what we've accomplished in the fitness industry. So I'm like, it just makes sense for me to start my own line. But I was scared.
What were you scared of?
I was scared of failing. I was scared that I would not have the time to devote towards building my brand. So in my mind, I'm like, I didn't want to start this, and a year later, it's gone. It's like, gotcha. where did her brand go? Where did her line go? Because of your busy schedule with the kids and being a wife, your career? Yes. I mean, I was spread really, really thin. And I'm like, there's no way I have the time to do this. And like I said, just the fear of it all, because I'd never done anything on my own before. Everything was either under Jason's umbrella or it's the fire service, nothing on my own. And so I'm like, I don't think I should do this. It took me a year to do it. A year to act. So you're thinking about it. You're still shouting everybody out. Yeah. But it takes you a year to actually just get over the fear. And do it. And what ended up doing that, shouts out to Miss Conceited. She hit me up in my DM on IG. And she says, sis, she said, I don't know if what you're promoting is yours and you're just not telling anybody. But if it's not, you need to start your own. And that was like confirmation for me because she's super successful in her field, and I'm like, people are seeing that I'm helping these other brands, And so I told Jason, I was like, dang, I think I'm gonna do it. And I did. Literally, I acted almost immediately. I went to work, was on shift, formed my LLC, went online. Myself. Gotcha. Went online, started ordering sample pieces. And I told him, I'm like, I'm launching on October 27th. This was last year, 2019. When was this? Like around what time? This was September. And you picked October 27th. Why October 27th? Because I knew when my pieces were coming in. And I'm like, it's just going to it was a Sunday. I'm like, it's just going to make sense on that day. And I had to give myself some form of deadline or else I was going to procrastinate. Were you ordering samples or you were ordering actual pieces to sell? I started off with samples, which came. And then I started doing a bulk order. And at that time, I was flying up to New York doing live rescue on A&E. And so I had this play money from live rescue. Right. So I was like, I'm just going to use this money from live rescue and use that to purchase my shipment. So when the samples came, I saw the quality was good. I'm like, all right, I'm going to use this money. Go ahead, order my actual bulk orders. They came in, took them to somebody to have my logo pressed on it. And I'm like, October 27th, I'm going live with it. Amazing. How long did it take you from the time you ordered for the samples to come in? Was it like a week or 2 weeks or something like that? It was about a week and a half. A week and a half. They get the samples out to you like that because, of course, they want you to buy. Right. Were you looking at other companies? Did you get samples from a bunch of people or just one? You just kind of got lucky, said, yo, I'm going to go to here. So I was using Alibaba, which I know you're familiar with. And I would go on there. I would see something I like and I would, send them a message. So I had all different manufacturers I was working with. It was just let me see. Because I didn't know anything. I'm literally doing this stuff blind. I'm like, okay, I know to go to this site. I'm going to go to this freaking site, and I'm just going to do it. And so I had all different manufacturers that I was getting stuff from. They came in, the quality was good, and I'm like, I'm just going to order in bulk from you because I got the sample from you. I don't operate like that now, of course. But that's dope. That's so exciting. I have an idea. I'm just going to order some samples. Oh, wow, I like the samples. I'm going to sell them. Yep. Let's go at it. Let's do it. And that's what I did. I launched that morning, and let me back up. Any business plan, strategy, No. I'm gonna back up for you real quick because really what made me see the power of e-commerce, so at my gym I teach a class, glute camp, on Saturday mornings. And so I ordered these latex bands to sell at my class. That's how this whole thing really started, truly. I ordered these these fabric bands because I had latex bands. And I'm like, they roll. I'm gonna order these fabric ones. So I went online, Alibaba, got all these samples brought to me so I could test them out, sent to me, found it, had the logo put on it, which was Glute Camp at the time, at the loft, that's what it said. And got them in, put them in my story on IG, just like, hey, got the bands in, I'm gonna have them in class on Saturday. People started hitting me up like, how can I purchase? Jason was like, set up a Shopify. I was like, what's Shopify? I love this story more and more as it goes on. I'm so ignorant to it all. Right. I'm like, what's Shopify? He's like, Google it. So I'll pull it up and I see, it's the e-commerce platform. Literally, I had 2 bands. I took them, put them on the floor in my closet, took a picture of it, set up the Shopify account. It took me every bit of 5 minutes.
Like with your cell phone?
Yes. Everything with my cell phone. Put it online, reposted in my story with the swipe up so they could go and purchase. Right. Went to bed. Woke up the next morning. It was like maybe 4 hours later because I had to go to work. And I had made $400 and something off the bands while I was sleeping. So I told Jason, I woke him up when I was getting ready to go to work, and I'm like, I made $400 in the last 4 hours. And so he was like, really? Which of course was double what I had spent already on the bands. So I'm like, I already made my money back, and I still had more. Yeah. I sold out of them in 24 hours. And I'm like, forget the class.
Right.
And so then, with what the message I got from Miss Conceited, and it just made sense. I'm like, just do it. Yeah. Just go for it. I don't like to be uncomfortable. I told you I like stability. Yeah. And so I really, really had to step out of my comfort zone and say, just go for it. Yeah. If you fail, you fail. Yeah. But you're not going to fail. Yeah. You're not. I don't know failure.
Yeah. It's so crazy. Like, what made people buy those bands? Was it like was it just your personality, the way you're marketing beforehand? Like, why do you think they bought them? Did you tell them all the stuff that it does, or what?
No, I literally posted a picture of them. I think because people trust me. Because like I told you, I don't do paid promo.
Paid promo, yeah.
So literally, if I put it out there, it's truly because I believe in it. And I had built up my own personal brand. The Mrs. 2 Weeks Out brand, I had already built that up, which I think is major when you're trying to build a brand. Build yourself up first, if possible. True. So you build that trust, you build that rapport with your followers. So when you present a product, they buy into you. So when I put that out there, and it was mine, something that it was me, but endorsing this, it was like, I'm gonna buy it because she's saying it's good. And that's how it started. Gotcha. And so it was the same thing with my line BodyNV. Literally, when I launched that Sunday, and I was like, hey, everybody.
How many pieces did you, so you got the samples, I like it.
Yep.
Then you ordered bulk order, you took all the orders and you went to get them printed.
Yes.
How many pieces was it? Do you remember?
So I don't remember exactly. I know I had like maybe 7 different sets that I ordered. And I want to say I ordered like 20 in each size. That was it. I didn't go too crazy because remember I told you I was scared. Right. I didn't know if it was going to work or not. So I'm like, I'll be safe. I'm going to get 20 in each size. And so I did. And sold out so fast. Sold out so fast when I launched. And literally that was a problem for months.
Why?
The inventory. I was selling out of everything so quick. I would post it and it would be gone in 24 hours.
Wow. What about the manufacturer? Did they stay consistent? Were they still in their job, or?
So with it now, back then I was using different ones. I literally was just seeing things I like, buying it.
Oh, so it wasn't one manufacturer. No. It's like, yo, I like this from them. Yep. I like this from, and you'll order it.
And I'm ordering it. And so during that time, I saw the different quality with the different manufacturers, and I was like, okay, I'm not using them anymore. I'm going to use this one. So I started working with one exclusively. And then I started finding that I needed to customize my pieces, not just order what was readily available. And so then I had to shop around for some different manufacturers. So now I have 2 that I utilize that does the actual custom pieces.
Oh, so you can create it and say, okay, I want the stripes on the wrist, and I want the zipper. Okay,
yep. I want a pocket here. I want the logo like this. I want this material. I want this hood. I can do that now. Right. Versus before, I was just ordering. So I found that I had certain sets, and so did everybody else.
Oh, because a lot of people were using the same manufacturers.
Wow. And so, even now we still run into that because everything is not necessarily custom. But I'm moving now to everything being custom. So we separate ourselves from the masses.
Got you. So let's go to this this $1 million 12-month period. First month, do you remember what the sales were?
I want to say it was like 20-something thousand the first
20-something thousand.
Yeah.
Off of ordering manufacturers off of Alibaba, taking it to a printer to print it, 20 grand.
20 grand. 20 grand. And
what was that feeling like?
I was shocked. I was shocked because I'm like, this is easy. It's easy. And when I say easy, it's not that it's easy. It's just that literally I'm not spending 24 hours out of my day working to do this. This money is being made as I sleep.
Yeah.
The sales are coming in as I'm talking to you,
right,
you know?
Right.
And so I'm like, this is amazing. It's amazing. And I'm darn sure I'm not making 20 grand with the fire department. That's not happening.
Right.
That's not going to happen.
Do you walk into work with a different air? Like, who y'all talking about? Who y'all talking to? What we doing?
I got options now. I got options. I don't have to do this if I don't want to, you know, so it makes you, makes you move a little differently. Yeah. But it just opened my eyes to what my husband felt.
Yeah.
You know, what his circle of friends feel on a daily basis. It's like, dang, this is amazing. There's no cap to this.
Yeah.
And when I realized that, it just made me even move differently with my business because I'm like, I'm not satisfied with this. We made 20 this month. We got to make 30 next month. And so I literally just kept setting goals for myself. And every single month, we made more and more and more money. And so June of this year, I made my first 100 grand in a month.
I remember seeing it on the gram. I said, that is, here's the thing. Because it wasn't like I was following you super closely, but I was like, I know she just started that joint not too long ago. And she had 100 grand this month.
Yep, we were 8 months in. And I made my first 100 grand. And it was so freaking exciting. We documented that day because we saw the sales, we saw where we were, and we were like, it's gonna happen today.
Yeah. Why? What happened? What was surrounding that day?
Nothing was surrounding that day. It was literally just where we were. We saw where our sales were. And so I actually worked the day. I got off of work that morning that we hit the 100 grand. And I called one of my shooters and I was like, I need for you to document this day for me because I know I'm going to hit 100 grand today. So I'm getting off of work. I need you to get me getting off of work.
Hold on. How do you know you're going to hit okay, what'd you do the day before?
I was at work. But I saw where
in
my
terms
sales
of business,
were.
Sales the day before.
It's rolling. So I knew where I was sale-wise. I know how much I pretty much make on a daily basis on average. Right. And so I say I was at 97K. I'm going to make 3K tomorrow. I know I'm going to make 100 grand. And so it was, let me document this. So I literally just started watching. And of course, the promotion, we revved that mess up. Yeah. So it was, I have a marketing manager. Her name is City. Shouts out to City. Talk of the City is her IG.
Oh, that's my homie.
Yeah. I love City. So literally, and we got to talk about that too, my team, because this right here is all, it ain't just me.
Yeah, I was definitely about to ask because you're still working a full-time job. And I was hoping you wasn't slaving out these little babies at your house. Like, girl, fold that. Poor little Riley. Goodness gracious.
Listen, it was a whole family affair. Everybody up there working. All four of us working. But City just ramped up the marketing. She ramped it up. We made sure that everybody knew what was on the site. We didn't even run any sales. She just did her part with the social media posting. I did my part on my page. She did her part in the BodyNV page. We ran the email campaigns. We sent out the text messaging blasts. And so we knew it was going to happen. And so we literally, the entire day was dedicated to hitting this 100K. And so when we got to, and this is the thing. Every Friday I do a new release. Right. It was Friday.
Oh, gotcha. You like, oh yeah, we're running it up.
We're running it up. I knew I was dropping a new set that Friday. And the set was dope. And we had been promoting the set throughout the week, building that anticipation for Friday at noon when the set was going to drop.
Right.
So that set dropped at noon and we sat. I was at home, City was at my gym, and we sat in front of our computers just watching the sales come in, watching them come in. And we got to like 99.7, and she called me and we hit it on the phone together. And that feeling was crazy.
Wow. And how many months in was this?
This was 8 months in.
8 months in.
8 months in.
So take me back to after 20, you're like, okay, next month we got to hit more. We got to hit more. When did it stop being just organic sales and you really focus on the marketing?
So we stopped focusing organically. Let's see. maybe 7 months in. No, we were still organic when we hit the 100K.
Really?
We were still organic. I didn't start running ads until after that. Shouts out to Leon. Go Trends.
Wow. Shouts out to Go Trends. If you ever been to a Social Proof conference, you got the ads from Leon. Okay. And Leon's running yours, right?
He's running mine
okay.
Too.
Yeah. Okay. Shouts out to
Leon, y'all. Go Trends. Yes. No. So, and that was one of my things too. So Jason had always been urging me to run these ads. You know, ads cost.
Yeah.
I didn't want to spend the money.
But it's technically all extra bread.
It
like,
is.
Cause you still got
I could not conceptualize that
the stability thing.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
It was like, okay, my account looks nice over here. And he was like telling me, you know, you'll probably have to start off with 10 grand a month running these ads. And in my mind, I'm like, that's gambling. What if I don't make any money off this 10 grand? That's 10 grand wasted. And you know, he's run the ads. Same thing, like trying to get me to come sit with you. He kept on trying to get me to hook up with Leon. Nope. I'm not ready. Wow. So we did hit the 100K organically, only doing what we do on our own, which was a blessing. But then when I saw that, I'm like, I got to try these ads because if we could do that on our own, imagine what we could do running these ads. And so I got with Leon after we hit that in June, that was June of this year, I got with Leon, and that has been a whole nother situation with him. And now I'm able to see, you know, just how you can just reach everybody. Yeah. You know. Yeah. And you can't just rely on your organic following. Yeah. That only goes so far.
But it took you pretty far though.
It did. It did. But I did influencer marketing too.
Okay, yeah. Walk me through that. Walk me through
that. You know, just in our gym, we have a lot of influencers that come through. So I would give them free sets. Here, can you put this on for promo? They would do it. And then I actually have somebody, Iman, shouts out to Iman. Iman actually finds influencers for me on IG.
So is Iman an influencer or is she No. So she finds influencers, she negotiates the deal?
She negotiates the deal. She finds the influencer, she'll send the influencer to me. What do you think about her? I'll go to her page, look at her engagement, see if it's mainly men. If it's mainly men engaging, I don't want her because it's women that buy my stuff.
For sure.
So I'm like, no, they're engaging with her because of whatever she's posting. It's men, go to the next. Yeah. If I approve, then she starts reaching out, starts doing the negotiations, that sort of thing. And I was doing that.
Give me a range of what you're paying for an influencer, like range, so I guess from zero, right? Yeah. But the lowest dollar amount that you paid and up to the highest.
The lowest I've paid is 600, 600 for a post. And this particular person had 2 million followers. And so I paid the 600. She did nothing.
Nothing?
No, nothing.
In terms of she didn't promote it or it's just...
Promoted it. It just did not do well. Her audience was not for what she was promoting.
Yeah. Don't be fooled by the numbers.
Don't be fooled by the numbers. Don't be fooled by them. And so the most I've spent is $5,000. And that was on Jada Chief's little baby's girlfriend. That was amazing. Really? That was amazing.
What made you want to spend the $5,000? How did you know that was going to come back?
Her influence. I was willing to gamble that. Yeah. You know, I had to learn during this year that I've been in business that you have to reinvest in your business. You have to.
Gotcha.
And you have to take those gambles. And so I'm like, I'm making money, but I know she has the power to make me even more money. That $5,000 I spend with her is going to make me $20,000 or more. And even if they don't buy, they're going to she's going to bring a new following to that page, to my BodyNV page. Yep. So they might not buy today, but they'll buy eventually.
For sure.
So either way, I'm going to capture them at some point. And when I tell you the video she posted, it was so, you could tell she did it herself. You know, it wasn't anything like, she put a lot of effort into it.
Right.
But it did so well. It did so well. We sold that set out. She brought thousands of new followers to the BodyNV page. And
did you run ads with that particular video?
Did not.
No?
I couldn't because of the song that she used. But I'm going to use her again, don't worry.
Who else was a good, you don't have to tell me what they pay unless you really want to help our audience with that. But their numbers might be private, I don't know. But who else did you pay and it really worked?
To be honest, really just her.
Really?
Really just her. I used a girl, I can't even tell you what her name is right now. Little Caucasian girl. She has a nice little following, whatever. She posted nice picture, professional picture. She did okay, and I spent $2,500 with her, so not too bad. I made the money back,
right?
But the difference between she and Jada,
Jada got that seasoning. She got that sauce.
She got that sauce,
right?
If you use Jada, you're gonna definitely get back what you spent.
Wow. Okay. Oh, and do you make that a normal practice? Like, is it like, you get an influencer every month or what?
No, I actually haven't used an influencer since I used her.
Really?
I actually need to get back into that. I've actually taken a little break from it because it's such a gamble with the influencers. You know, you see what you see and you automatically feel they got X amount of followers, they got these comments, they have these likes, they should be able to bring value to your brand, but they don't always.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, and so I took a little break from that, but Iman's still working, so she's sending me some people. So I'm actually getting ready to use Kyle's sister.
Kyle?
You familiar with her? So
Who's Kyle?
I don't know. That's her Instagram.
Oh, that's her Instagram, Kyle's sister.
Yeah, that's her Instagram name. And whose girlfriend is she? Moneybag Yo.
Okay, Moneybag Yo. Okay.
Moneybag Yo's girlfriend.
What she want? Do you know?
Yeah. You gotta sign a contract with her.
Really?
You gotta sign a 4-month contract with her. $16,000.
You better have your business together, Kyle's sister.
Okay? She
like
got it
that.
together. But you know what? When you find influencers that have that sort of setup, they know their worth.
Yeah, for sure.
And so it helps you to know, like, I might spend this 16 racks with her, but she's gonna bring that back 10 times over. She knows that, which is why she's able to ask for that amount and make you sign a contract with her.
I like that. I like that.
So it's worth it in the end. And you know, I really had to learn, you can't sit back and penny pinch.
Yeah.
If you want your business to grow, you're gonna have to invest in your business.
100%.
You're gonna have to.
100%. So tell me how you built the team. First, you're slaving out your children, okay, which I can just imagine, right? Mommy, my fingers hurt. I don't want to put it in the bag. So how did you start to build a team?
So the marketing aspect was done 4 days in. Literally when I launched, City reached out to me 4 days in. She just shot her shot, basically. She was in a DM and she was like,
Did you know her?
I knew her just from being around Atlanta because she used to be a trainer.
Right.
So I knew her just from the fitness industry. Didn't know much about her, but I knew she was like doing this marketing thing because Jason told me that in her stories, you know, she was putting a lot of marketing advice out there. He kept telling me, go look at her stories, go look at her stories.
Gotcha.
I'm hard-headed, so I wasn't listening. I'm like, I'm going to look at her stories.
You do not be listening to your husband.
I give him such a hard time, and then when I do listen,
That's
it
funny.
turns out so well, and he's like, I told you. You hate to hear that. You already know that. So when she reached out to me, I'm like, dang, we were just talking about you. And she came so correct. Her offer was to be put on a probationary period. She was like, just give me a chance. I think I can really bring value to your business. She said, I know you're busy. You got XYZ going on. You don't have the time to devote to the emails, the posting, responding to the DMs, responding to the emails, creating campaigns. You don't have the time for it. And I didn't. I knew that. So I said, all right, I'll put you on a probationary period. And her fee was so modest. I'm like, I can't lose.
Right. Right. I get out a shot.
Right, I can't lose.
Right.
So I gave her a shot. She took my business to another level. The consistency that she had with the post, from just the graphics, the captions. You know, the captions draw people in. Her captions were so dope.
For sure.
The captions, being able to respond to them. At that time, I was still handling the emails, and they had me stressed.
Really?
She took over that from me.
Wow.
Actually, the campaigns that we would run. So, you know, when I first started this, I looked at it as my little side business. That's what I call BodyNV. It's just my little side business because I didn't know it was going to do what it did. I had no clue it was going to do what it did. So it was just my little side business, and that's what I called it. And then it became bigger than my career.
Yeah.
It's not my little side business anymore.
Yeah.
But she helped me to see that thought process was wrong. So she would come to me and say, hey, we need to start running this campaign, this St. Patrick's Day campaign. And I'm like, it's January. Why are we running a St. Patty's campaign? And she's like, well, she went into the store, in the dollar store, and she showed me they had all this St. Patty's Day stuff. She said, we're going to market like the big companies market. If Macy's is running a sale for this particular holiday, we're going to follow suit. And we're going to run it like Macy's does. And that's what we started doing. So we started preparing like the big.
You gotta have somebody to think like that on your team.
Got to. Got to. And she was a game changer for me because I didn't understand that. Marketing is her specialty. It's not mine.
Yeah.
And I realized that that's not my area of expertise. That's why I hired you to do this part for me. And she was doing it. And so the 3 months came and went. And she said to me, so am I still hired? Is there anything? And I'm like, well, I didn't tell you anything else.
Right.
And she, we laughed about it and I gave her a raise.
Yeah.
She didn't have to ask for it. I'm like, your value is, you bring so much value to me and to my business. And so I gave her a raise twice over. And now every time we hit 100K every single month, she gets a bonus every single time we hit it.
I love it.
So I make her excited to do, and I make her feel like it's not just, it's us.
Yeah.
She makes BodyNV.
For sure.
So I have her, and then of course we have Leon with the ads.
Right.
And then I have my web team, which Continental G heads that.
Okay.
So
what's the web team do?
He handles the website. I have an app as well. So he designed the app. Anything that I need done back office, he handles that for me.
Gotcha.
In terms of web design.
Gotcha.
And I ended up having to hire a full-time employee who is my niece.
Oh, wow.
And she's a college student, so it works out perfectly. So she handles all the shipping for me. Because that's where the slavery came in.
Does she do all the shipping herself?
Yes.
That's a lot.
Everything, but she has it down to a T.
She got a system.
She has a system down. So when I try to hire more help, she's like, no. I have my system. I know how it needs to be done, and she does it. I don't touch any of that stuff anymore because it was really cute initially when we first started slaving.
Right.
Jason's recording. I'm up. I'm getting off from work 6 o'clock in the morning. 6:30. I'm walking through the door. I'm going straight upstairs to start shipping out orders. Yeah. It was real cute at first.
Right.
And then it got very, very overwhelming.
Right.
Very overwhelming, and so I realized I needed the help, and so my team just consists of them. That's it.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. So what's going on through your mind? I mean, like 5-6 months in while you're working, is it let me hit a number and then I'll quit, or what is your plan at this point?
So it's not even based on numbers because I have far exceeded. I make more a month than my entire salary for the year with the fire department. So the numbers, I could have left a long time ago. But when you're working towards a pension, I'm 18 years in. If I were to leave, if I had left, say in June, those 18 years would have gone down the drain. So the plan is March
of this year, of 2021,
to run my numbers. The way we operate, whatever rank you're in, whatever salary that is, you have to work 3 years making that salary for it to apply towards your pension. So March of 2021 will be 3 years of me being a battalion chief.
Gotcha. So explain pension. I never really had like a real job like that. I worked as a server. So you walk me through like pensions and how this stuff works.
Yeah. So basically it's just guaranteed money for the rest of your life. When you turn 50 years old, that money is paid to you on the first of every month for the rest of your life.
Right.
And then when you pass away, it goes on to your spouse. So that's what most people are working for.
Yeah.
Their entire life, they're working for that pension. And that's what I was working towards. My whole career was working towards that pension. So now I see that there's other ways besides just the pension. Yeah. But I don't want to throw away the time that I put in.
Of course.
So now that the game plan is, and I'm actively working towards it, I can't wait to walk out of there.
You gonna have a party?
Yes.
We gotta have a party, man. Goodness gracious.
Gotta have a party.
This story, it's so electrifying. Like the person who had a job for 18 years or 19 years it will be, and like you just throw something against the wall almost. Like, yo, I'm just gonna give it a shot. I'm going to be intentional about it. I'm gonna get focused, build it.
Yeah.
And it's built. And it just goes crazy first year.
Goes crazy beyond my expectations.
Yeah.
Like I told you, it was my little business. I was cool with, in my mind, I'm like, I might make maybe another $5,000 a month, just, to be cute, to be a little extra income or whatever. I did not know it was going to turn into what it is. And so, I'm losing money every third day when I have to work that 24-hour shift. I'm losing money at this point. And so it just doesn't make sense for me to continue taxing myself because the job is stressful.
For sure.
You don't know what you're going to encounter that shift. You don't know if you're going to get any sleep that shift. And then the different calls that you run, it's stressful.
Yeah, for sure.
I can alleviate that.
Yeah.
I can be home and available when the kids have certain things going on. I've missed things over the years because I got to go to work and I got to work 24 hours.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to do that. I want to be able to say, hey, if I want to go out of town, I can do that. I don't have to ask for permission to be off. You know, I see how freeing it is to work for yourself.
Yeah. What were the challenges in terms of the wifely duties of like, because you're used to, you know, you're there for 24 hours, then you're off, you might, you know, keep the house together, things of that nature. What was the strain on you as you, the wife, in terms of holding down the household? Was there any challenges?
Oh, heck yeah, it was stressful. Because I'm gone 24 hours. Get home, the house is a mess. I didn't leave it this way. So you talking about drill sergeant mode. Let me tell you something, David. I would walk in the house, right, and I would hear Jason upstairs, feet just going, right? And I'm like, why are you up? It's 6:30 in the morning. He's cleaning. He's up straightening up what they did, he and the kids, the night before, because he knows I'm going to be on the warpath when I come to the door. Because I'm like, I didn't leave the house like this. Why is it like this in a day? You know, and I'm a stickler for organization and cleanliness. And so if I come in the house and there's dishes in the sink, I can't rest. I can't go upstairs, take a shower, and take a nap.
Right.
I got to clean my house.
Yeah.
And so that, on top of just being tired, mentally exhausted from the bad calls that we would run, and just the mental aspect of trying to cope with what you've seen during that shift, to now I got to come home and I got to turn all that off. Because nobody wants to hear about that in my household, you know, and I don't want to bring that to them. And so turn that off now, and now I got to be mom. And we got practices to get to, and we got games to get to. And I got to go to the gym and teach my class.
Right.
Because it's Saturday morning. I'm tired, but I still got to go teach my class. You know, and then we got to go shoot X28 videos. You know, it was so much.
And then we want BodyNV on top of all of that.
It was so much. And so I ended up hiring a housekeeper because I'm like, I don't have time to clean this house.
Yeah.
I started hiring meal prep companies to make food for the kids. They hate it, so they're like, don't order us meal prep. Don't we'll cook ourselves. My son started cooking. He's 12. He started cooking dinner because he's like, no, I don't want it. But just the time factor, I was just spread so thin. And so even with BodyNV, you know, it became more of a chore to get stuff done. And that's when I realized, like, I needed to hire my niece full time. She was assisting me, but she wasn't full time. And so I'm like, I got to take that burden off of me completely and just give it to her.
Gotcha.
And I have a problem at times releasing responsibility because I'm like, is it gonna go right? Because guess what? It's my name at the end of the day. So if a mistake is made, it's gonna be, she made that mistake. Not her crew.
Right. Oh, for sure.
It's her. She did it, you know. And so I had to just relinquish some of the responsibilities and say, hey, I trust that you're gonna go, you're gonna handle things the way, you know, I need, like I'm doing it. And they do. They do. So now, you know, all these months later, everything just runs well. I still, you know, select the pieces. I'm still the face of my brand. I tried to get away from that too. That didn't work.
Why?
The followers, they want me.
Yeah. But I'm saying, why did you try to get away from being the face?
It's more responsibility.
Yeah.
I have to shoot the content personally. You know, I can't be behind the scenes, you know, directing. I've got to be the face of it.
Right.
And I got to make sure the content is done, no matter if I have the time to do it. If I'm tired, it doesn't matter. We got to go to a location. We have to shoot. We got to put these clothes on, do something to this hair, and shoot this product, you know. And we got to find a way to make it innovative. You know, make it cool, make it fun, make people want this. And so...
what is the sauce? What is your... Because anybody that's watching this, and they probably will, they'll go to Alibaba, type in athletic wear or whatever. What is the secret sauce behind Body by Envy? Is it Body by Envy or BodyNV?
BodyNV.
BodyNV. What is the secret sauce? Like, what do you think your gift is?
I think my gift is just making my line look super cool.
Yeah.
And, you know, my thing is pull up, pop out.
Oh, with the car, yeah.
I'm going to pull up. I'm going to hop out. I'm going to twirl. I'm going to spin. You're going to get every angle panned. You're going to see every little detail of the outfit. So not only do I make it look good, but I'm going to accessorize it too. Yeah. So it's not just active wear. You don't just go to the gym in it. Yeah. You see, I got it on right now with some boots, some jewelry. I can go to a lunch date right now. I can go to dinner if I want to. I can go shopping and look great and get compliments all day. What is that you have on? Oh, this is what it is. So I let them see that it's a lifestyle line.
Got you. So most people, they just, if it's athletic, they think we're working out.
I got to be fit to wear your stuff. No, you don't. Yeah. No, you don't. And that's why we even expanded the sizes. And I love when I call them my envy gang, my customers, when they send in their pictures and you have a larger figured woman wearing the stuff. Yeah. Because it shows like you don't have to be in shape to wear this. Yeah. Put this on, you're going to feel great. Go out there, you're going to receive the compliments. Yeah. And that's where the name Body Envy came from, because when you see somebody in it, it's like, I got to have it. Yeah. Got to have it.
So you feel like your sauce is the way you're painting the picture of the brand.
The way I'm painting the picture of the brand. I make it fun. I make it cool. You know, the way I put the pieces together. Literally, I will have customers that wear it just like me. Yeah. From the shoes to the accessory. I mean, everything. Wow. They will ask, what are those shoes that you have on? Go get them. And they're going to wear it just like that. When they submit their pictures, they look just like the picture that we put out or the video that we put out. Yeah, and so not only are you giving them the look, you giving them the whole swag. I mean, everything. Yeah. And so I think, you know, people have to buy into you. I wear this all day, every day too. Yeah. And so it's like this is not just something she's putting out there just to make money. Like, this is what I wear. And I wear it everywhere. Yeah. Everywhere.
Is it hard? You've been in business for how long now?
What is this? 13 months.
13 months. You figured out some things about business. And your husband is an entrepreneur. Yeah. So I'm sure your husband's going to suggest some things that you don't agree with. Is it hard taking advice now?
It's still hard taking advice from him. Yeah. I don't know why.
Is it the advice, or is it just it's him? Like the boy I done picked up when he was a kid and we're together now?
I think it's him sometimes. This is my thing. So sometimes I don't want to talk about business. If we're out, like we were bowling the other night, right? So everybody's there. You got him 500, his wife.
You in the world. That's what we do. Right. That's what we talk about.
When y'all get around each other, what do y'all do?
Oh, we talk business.
Exactly, I talk business. I don't want to talk business. I just want to hang out. I want to hang out. I'm chilling. He calls me over. Maddie is there. Shout out to Maddie.
Shouts out to Maddie.
Hey, come over here, Halani. Let's talk to Maddie. I'm like, about what? About business. Like, I'm chilling right now. Right. So I go over. So long story short, you know, the conversation was very brief because in my mind, I didn't want to talk right now. I didn't want to. And he told me about it later on when we were driving home. He was like, you know, it just seems like anytime I recommend something, you got this look on your face, and I cannot hide my emotions on my face. I didn't even know I was looking disgusted. He said, you were looking at me like you were disgusted. Yeah. And I was like, I was?
I didn't want that to come out. That was inside.
But it did. It did. And so I still find it hard to take advice from him. But when I do, it's success every single time. And so, you know, that's one of those things that I got to stop doing it. I got to get out of my own way with it because, you know, there's very powerful people within that circle. Yeah. And so you can learn so much. So when the opportunity presents itself, when you're in the room with these individuals, you got to soak some things up.
For sure.
You have to. You can go back to talking and you know, playing the game later. Yeah. And I have to get into that mindset of when you're around so much greatness, and so many people who have been in the game doing what, I mean, Maddie, he's done the clothing line.
100%, yeah.
Why would I not sit down and talk to him? Yeah. Why would I not?
Yeah.
And so, you know, that's my goal. My goal for, you know, moving into 2021, listen to the hubs a little bit more. listen a little bit more.
Like, Jason, we could just run this back, okay? If you ever have any issues, be like, hold on, let's go straight back to the video. You said.
I said, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it.
That's awesome. And I think it's so dope, man, that you are just extremely transparent. Like, yo, I don't listen to my husband, and I know it, okay? I don't know everything about business. I don't even know why I'm here. I don't want to teach nobody. I don't know. But I think there's so many gems that you drop just in the conversation of who you are that people can take away. I know I did.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you're literally painting a picture of how to wear your brand and how to live with your brand. And I don't do that. I'm like, y'all need to maybe, how about the car twirl?
Twirl a little bit.
How many takes do you take on those videos? One take every time.
One take every time. Because the first time is always the most authentic. And you can tell. Tell. I put on a song that I'm feeling, pull up in the whip, get out, he's panning. He's the best cameraman ever.
Who does it?
Jason.
I love it.
He's panning, I'm get out, I'm twirling, I'm doing my thing, and we're done with it, you know. But, you know, one of the things, too, that I learned over the course of these 13 months is adding to your platform as well. You know, when I started the Shopify account, initially it was for the bands, and I ended up adding the activewear to it, the athleisure wear, the lifestyle line to it. But I didn't realize all the different pieces you can add into your platform. And I met up with Justin from Black Colleges.
Support Justin.
Support Black Colleges, Justin, yes.
That kid is brilliant.
What?
That kid is brilliant. Oh my gosh.
And that was a piece of advice that Jason gave me that I listened to. I did listen to it. I hit Justin on IG. I'm like, hey, you know, I just started my brand. I know you've been doing this thing for a minute. I'd like to sit down with you and talk about some things. Justin was so accommodating. He showed up at the gym. We sat down in one of the back rooms. Justin looked at my Shopify and he was like, you don't even have these apps installed onto your page. My page is just bland. Literally, you just went on there and you clicked and you shopped. There was nothing to add value to the page to enhance what we had and give the customers just some extra additives from the back in stock app. When stuff is out of stock, you capture their email so that when it comes back in stock, they get an email. Boom, they go get it. That's huge. That happens so often. I put something back on the site, it's gone within the first 5 minutes because of that back in stock app.
Sheesh.
Yeah. So you see it all the time when you're shopping, but I'm thinking in my mind, these brands have it because they're big brands.
Right.
Not realizing you can have it too.
Yeah.
Wheelio. When that wheel comes up and it stops on a certain percentage off, you get a discount.
I saw that. Yeah, okay. You have that?
I did install that only because Leon has it set up where people get discount codes anyway. So I didn't set a Wheelio, but that was part of it.
Right.
Frequently added together was another app. So you know when you're shopping and you might click an item and then it shows you suggestions on what you should put with that.
Right.
I'm like, this is brilliant. I didn't even know I could have that on my site.
Wow.
He literally gave me a list, even frequently asked questions, an app to install just so that those frequently asked questions just look better, just gives a better appearance. And he gave that to me for free game.
Wow.
I still hit him up now.
Oh, for sure. I was supposed to link with him today. I'm still trying to get together with him today. Yeah, but shouts out to Justin, man. Just a humble person.
Extremely. And he didn't have to do that for me.
Yeah.
Even when it came to shipping, he saved me so much money with shipping. My products out.
All right, yeah, we're going to have a meeting with Justin.
You got to.
I am super motivated to sit down with Justin.
I'm telling you. So, you know, just being able to humble yourself and ask questions.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, I'm new to this whole entrepreneur e-commerce game. I have nothing but space to learn, and I know that. And so while I can give you certain things that, you know, I'm doing, is so much I know I'm not doing yet. Yeah. But I will.
Absolutely.
I will.
So a couple more questions. I'm starting to get into this mental space of I'm going to be looking for a therapist because there are like some things that go on in my head that I think need to be corrected, right? Mm-hmm. For instance, my emotional IQ. I think it helps me because I don't get too high on highs and I don't get too low on lows. Mm-hmm. It's like everything's gonna be okay at some point. I'm cool. But I kind of want to tap into my feelings more. So I'm looking for a therapist. In terms of your mental health, what are some things that may be a gift and a curse, or some things that you struggle with that, because people look at you and they think perfection. You got this job, you got this business, y'all just built an amazing home, you got beautiful children, great marriage. What are the things that you struggle with?
I have a horrible temper. Horrible temper, where it took years for me to not go from 0 to 100 like that.
Really?
And it stems from my childhood. So I come from a broken family. I come from a family of mental and physical abuse. And so that translated into just my entire, just my being as I grew up. So I didn't smile a lot. I would. Really? Yes. I would physically do things.
Did you put hands on Jason?
I did. Oh, yeah. I did. I will fight him in a heartbeat. And he's looking at me like, stop it. And be so angry. Oh my gosh. Be so angry. And so,
did you just grow up fighting and just kind of carry it?
And that's the thing. I didn't grow up fighting. I just grew up angry. Grew up very, very angry, and things just angered me very, very quickly.
Were you angry at the things that were going on in your life, or were you just angry with yourself, or what?
I was angry with the things that went on in my life. And so that translated into my personality. And it took me years, and I needed therapy. I didn't know I needed therapy, but I did. And it took me years to get to the place where I am now, where now I still will, I'll go off.
Jason, square up.
And he knows, and not on him, but if I feel like you are disrespecting him or my children, I lose it. I black out, and I'm looking back later like, dang, I said that, I did that.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm able to control it more so now, but that was one of the things that I really, really struggled with, was controlling my emotions.
Yeah, for sure.
And it was just built up frustration from my childhood, seeing the different things that I saw, coming from a broken family where there was physical and mental abuse that took place. I had a sister that ran away from home all the time, and my family did well financially.
Really?
Very. So we did not struggle financially. We had everything we wanted. We did very well financially. But the actual family dynamics, I'll tell you this, growing up with my dad, I grew up in a household with my father until my parents divorced and I was 16. He's always been a part of my life, but I never heard I love you from him.
Really?
Never heard it from him. Now, at 38 years old, we have built this relationship over the past year and a half that we should have built from when I was growing up. We have it now. So when he tells me now he loves me, every time it's like, whoa, he just told me he loved me.
Really?
Every time it's shocking. And I'm enjoying this relationship that we're building. I love it. But I didn't have that growing up with him. And so to hear him say those words to me now, it's every time he says it, I tell Jason, dang, my dad told me he loved me today.
Really? Even now, today?
Even today. Today. He told me he loved me last week.
And then what was the first time he told you? I mean, a year and a half ago, but what was the situation?
We were just on the phone, just talking on the phone. And it used to be awkward talking on the phone to him because we just never had that bond, although I grew up in a house with him. Yeah. And we were ending the phone call, and he said, I love you. And it took me totally by surprise. I was like, I love you too. And I called Jason immediately, my dad just told me he loved me. I can't believe he just told me. I called my sister. I can't believe dad just told me he loved me.
Did you ever notice that he never said it?
No.
You never noticed that he never said it until he said it.
Exactly.
And it's a shock.
It was a shock because I never knew him to say it. I didn't know anything any differently. And so when he did say it, I'm like, I never heard this from him. And if I did hear it, it was so few and far, in between that it never registered. Never registered.
So I'm thinking he said it because you might have had the conversation Dad, you never told me you love me.
No. He now, and sometimes it takes people a longer period of time to realize the changes they need to make and the bonds they need to form and things like what's important to them, he sees that. And so he's a completely different person. He's Jamaican, and, you know, they have these very, very strong personalities, and, you know, it's their way or no way, that sort of thing. But he has changed so much over the years. And now to see who I see I love it.
Did you, like when he said it, did you say, hey, Dad, you know what? The first time you told me you love me was the other day. Did you ever have that conversation?
I didn't.
Never. So when he says it, it's just another surprise.
Yeah, every time. But now I find myself, I tell him first now too. You know, I don't wait for him to say it to me. You know, I let him know I love him too. And people wouldn't know that, you know. But because of that, I make sure, like with my own children, they hear it nonstop.
Yeah.
You know, I'm so physical with them. You're going to get hugs all day. You're going to get kisses all day. You're going to know I love you. Yeah. There's never a day that's going to go by that you don't hear me say that several times a day to you.
And you put more sauce on it because you never heard it.
Because I never heard it.
Yo, you know, some people would make the connection between maybe like a tough relationship with your father, and it's finally coming to a head, and now everything else is blossoming because maybe there was an undealt with situation as a childhood and maybe freed you in some areas.
I think it did because, like I said, I was so angry. And I knew why I was angry. I knew I was angry just because of just my entire upbringing. I knew that. And we, you know, my sisters and I, there are 8 of us in total. 3 older siblings from my mother's first marriage. There are 3 from my dad's son that he had with his mistress. And then my father's remarried now. And so I have a little brother with them who's 18. He's the youngest. But my sisters, they're twins. And one of them I'm really close to. And we talk all the time about just our childhood and things that went on and things of that nature. And, you know, you know why, because she was the same way. Yeah. Angry, violent. Wow. We were the same way. We are very, very much alike. And we know why we're this way. And she's having these same breakthroughs with my dad as well.
Amazing.
And so, you know, we're talking all the time like, dang, you talked to Dad today? Yeah, she actually went to lunch with him the other day. That's the first time she's 42. That's the first time she is 43 now, ever sat down with my dad alone at lunch just to see what.
Really?
Yes. And she was like, you know, it was awkward initially, but then it just really turned into a nice lunch at 43.
So how about your mom? How's the relationship with your mom?
We've always been really close with her. Yeah. We're so close with her. If you were to hear our conversations, you would probably be like, you talk to your mom like that? And we have to like tell people when they're around us, like, you know, we say shut up and stuff, you know, and it's like, we're not being disrespectful, you know, and she's 78. Yeah. So she's older. Wow. She's 11 years older than my father. She's older, but we've always been super close. She's always created that channel where we could tell her anything. Like growing up, if I wasn't going to school, if I was going to skip school that day, I didn't sneak out. Like, I'm not going to school today. We're going X, Y, you were going here instead, you know, and she was like, okay, you know, she would rather me tell her than sneak and do things.
Yeah, for sure.
And so it's still like that to this day. You know, I can talk to her about anything. Very, very close relationship. Now, I will say, we didn't hear I love you a lot from her either.
Really?
No. Didn't hear that a lot. We didn't grow up in a household where we heard I love you a lot.
How has that affected your relationship? Maybe your current relationship, you know, like, well, I mean, that's all you really know for a long time, right? But how did that affect your relationship? Were you ever hesitant to say I love you, or were you like more intentional about the I love yous? Or
I've always been more intentional about them because I didn't hear it. And I know how important it is to hear that. Sometimes you need that validation. You need to know, you know, and I know actions speak louder than words, but those words mean so much. And so I'm so intentional with letting those that I do love know I love you. Wow. Jason's not going to go a day without hearing those words from me. Same with him. I'm always going to hear it from him. My kids, you know, you're going to hear it. Yeah. And so, yeah, it just made me open up more so in that capacity. Wow. Yeah.
Maybe you want to go home and tell my daughter I love her just to make sure. I don't remember if I said it today. No? All right. Okay. We got to be intentional. So, Halani, thank you so much. What does Halani mean?
I don't know.
You don't know?
It's
a cool
crazy.
name.
I have tried. It's Hawaiian. My name is Halani Kalua. Hawaiian.
Really?
Yeah, my mom had a Hawaiian friend. Her name was Halani Kalua. and she named me after her. I have tried to figure out what my name means. You know, I cannot find it.
It's a cool name.
Thank you.
Hey, if you're watching this and you're from Hawaii or something and you like recognize the name, just DM her, let her know.
Please tell me what my name is.
Help her with her roots. You know what I'm saying? But thank you so much. Again, I think your story is just so important.
Thank you.
I appreciate you really just coming on to be your authentic self. And I think other people can appreciate that too. Okay?
I hope so. You know what? This turned out to be really good.
Yeah.
I'm happy
See,
that
yesterday I told you.
Yeah,
You
did. I'm happy that I came. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Well, let the people know how they can find you.
So you can find me on Instagram. I am Mrs. MRS, the number 2 weeks out. I am on Facebook as well as Halani Lobdell. I'm never on Facebook though. And then check out my line, you guys, The Body NV. It's The Body NV, N as in Nancy, V as in Victor, on Instagram. The website is thebodynv.com. Check it out.
Y'all do affiliate links?
Not
Jason,
yet.
we got affiliate links. Some affiliate links. Nah, but listen, go buy some Body by Envy. And I'm actually, when I get home, I'm going to order some stuff for my wife because it does look super fly.
She gonna kill it.
She's pregnant right now, too. You got some pregnant? Yeah.
How many months?
She is 23 weeks.
Oh, so she's showing.
Yeah.
Congrats.
23
You know
weeks.
what you having?
A girl.
Yeah, another one.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah, I'm excited. I am excited. We're gonna go get something to balance out this house. A boy dog or something. We're gonna balance this thing out.
It's just you.
Absolutely.
You're on an island by yourself.
Look, do me a favor. Oh, okay. So I gotta ask another question.
Okay.
I like to make predictions on the podcast. So where do you see yourself, your business, your personality, like where do you see yourself in the next 5 to 10 years so that I can watch this in 5 to 10 years and say, wow, Halani was on the show. She actually did what she said she was going to do 5, 10 years ago.
I see Body Envy being bought for millions.
You know, Supreme just sold for $1 billion.
That's so crazy. That is crazy.
Yeah.
I see that for myself.
Yeah.
I see that from what I've been able to do pretty much on my own. Mm-hmm. I haven't even tapped into so many other resources to elevate my brand. Yeah. It's coming, but I haven't even tapped into it. And I just know what can be done on a grander scale.
All right. Y'all better buy it now because every year it gets more and more expensive. All right, get some deep clothing words together. Okay, I'm about to do a little commercial for myself. Okay, make sure you join this episode is always sponsored by the Morning Meetup, the only community where entrepreneurs gather every single morning, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we grow together. We network with each other. We learn how to start and grow, scale our businesses. We have a different theme every month. This month was content creation. Next month, I think, is getting your financial house in order. So we'll go through branding. I don't know what month it is right now, but we gather every single day, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So make sure you tap in. You could try it for $1. See if you like it. If you like it, stay. If not, you can leave, but go to themorningmeetup.com. Okay. So, Halani, I want to say thank you for joining us, and I need you to close us out strong.
Oh, the pressure. The pressure. I mean, I think that the biggest takeaway for me with coming on board with this whole entrepreneur world is to invest in your brand. Invest in your brand, invest in your business, and there's no ceiling, there's no cap to what you can do with your brand. And when you know that, it just makes you move differently, it makes you operate differently, and never get comfortable. Because being comfortable breeds complacency. And when you get complacent, you stop planning, you're gonna fail.
Say that one more time. Being comfortable breeds complacency.
Breeds complacency. When you get complacent, you stop planning, you're setting yourself up to fail.
Can't close it out no better than that. Make sure you follow Miss 2 Weeks Out. Support the brand, okay? BodyNV.com?
Yes, The Body Envy.
TheBodyNV.com. Make sure you go support. All right, we are out of here. Love y'all. Peace.